Hi, good morning, everyone. My name's Stephen Painter, and I'm the CEO of educationagents.org. We're lucky enough to partner with the University of Birmingham in Dubai to raise their international awareness of their new campus, which is due to be opened in September of this year. Having personally visited the campus, I understand that it's a great facility in Dubai International Academic City, which has over 30,000 students currently studying there at the moment. Moving Birmingham into Dubai is obviously an exciting opportunity with a globally top 100 ranked university moving in the region. Today, we're lucky enough to have Sanam, who heads up the school's partnerships strategies. So she concentrates on the PGCE teaching program, and she'll be running through a presentation. The presentation will be recorded, so it will be shared amongst all of the participants at the end for review. And also what we'll do is have a short question and answer session at the end. So what I'll do is I'll now pass over to Sanam and she can start the presentation, and we look forward to receiving your questions at the end.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for logging in and being part of this presentation. So my name is Sanam Yaqub, and I work for the University of Birmingham here in Dubai. And my role is as Schools Partnership Strategies Manager. So I work as part of the School of Education. We haven't actually opened our doors yet to students, so we're hoping to start students in September. We're busy with recruitment at the moment, which is where you guys come in. So today specifically, I'm going to be talking about our teacher education program, and specifically the PGCE, which is the Postgraduate Certificate in Education. It's very exciting to be part of this course and be part of the School of Education. So hopefully by the end of the session, you'll have a better understanding of this specific program and how it can benefit the students, not only in Dubai, but the wider region of the GCC as well. And I look forward to your questions at the end. So let me take you a little bit, explain a little bit about the education landscape in Dubai. And this is important because it gives a context for the PGCE. So in Dubai, as part of the national agenda, education is one of the top priorities here. The government are focused that by 2021, they want to be one of the best education hubs in the UAE. So our PGCE course has come at a very, very good time. Over the next 10 years or so, it's projected that Dubai is going to grow in terms of its landscape. The student population will grow exponentially as well. Now, I'm not sure how many of you know about the region of Dubai, but there are over 17 different curriculum types, from Indian and Arabic curriculum in the government schools, right through to UK, American and Australian curriculum schools. So the range is vast in terms of the curriculum. So this brings opportunities for teachers to work here within the region. When families come to Dubai, and I've been in Dubai myself for over a decade now, they come as well because of the quality of education. And because they come from different parts of the world, they come with different curriculum expectations as well, which is why Dubai is one of the very few countries to offer so many different curriculums. Now, how do we fit in, and a little bit about the University of Birmingham, because I think, again, this gives a little bit of context with what we're working with. Now, we've been an institution in the UK for operating as a university for over 100 years. So we come to Dubai with a very good history of teaching quality programs. We started off over 100 years ago as a civic university. And what that means is that our mission is to provide education for everyone and quality education for everyone. So that's why we've come to Dubai, to bring that mission, to raise aspirations, to raise attainment across the region, and ensure that every child here has the opportunity to go to a world-class quality university. So we've had 11 Nobel Prize winners over the past few years. We do a lot of work with the government in the UK in shaping policy. And that's something that we've already started to do in Dubai, and we've partnered with the ministry and various regulatory authorities here, specifically in Dubai, the KHDA, which you may know about. We do a lot of innovation and research at our university. So not only are we bringing our quality programs, but we're also bringing a centre of research here to influence and shape the government. So that's sort of just to summarise what we are as an institution, and we're very excited to be part of the higher education here. Specifically now about the School of Education within the university. So we're the first Russell Group university to come from the UK, and we're the only university in the UAE that will teach this PGCE program face-to-face. So that's one of the unique things about our course, is that it's not online, it's not there is elements of blended learning, but it's face-to-face, because for teacher education, we believe it's important to have that interaction with your tutor and with your lecturer. And that's what makes it quite unique. And I'll talk a little bit about how the program works in due course. We've got a very good reputation as a school of education, as a centre of excellence and learning in the UK. And we shape a lot of policy that goes on in the education field in the UK. And we're trying to bring that here with all the work that we do. We've done a lot of research. At the moment, our School of Education is taking part in research linked to children with special education needs and early years education as well. So we're hoping to bring all of that practice here to the UAE and the wider region. Now, in terms of rankings, a lot of people like to know about rankings and where we are. Our School of Education specifically is 6th in Europe, and it's 25th in the world. So again, this shows and demonstrates the quality of education that we provide, and specifically our teacher education programs. In terms of our teacher education programs, they've been outstanding over the last few inspections in the UK, and we've received that accolade from Ofsted in the UK. Now, why would anyone choose a PGCE? Well, first and foremost, as I mentioned, we are offering a very high quality research informed program. What that means is all of our lecturers that are delivering the course have been involved in educational research. So they're bringing that information to the program and to the students. So it really is a cutting edge, innovative course that we're offering. We've been outstanding for the past few inspections, and we're in the Good Teacher Training Guide for the top 3 in higher education provision. All of our lecturers are accredited from the university and will be coming here, basing themselves in Dubai. So again, that's another unique element that we bring. More importantly, once the graduates complete the teacher education program, they're very employable. So do you remember that context I set at the beginning in terms of education really growing here and lots of schools expanding? Well, this is why we need good quality teachers as well, because they'll be in a very good position to start teaching in Dubai and the wider region. Once candidates finish the PGCE, they can go on to study for a master's degree. So they'll get 60 credits for their PGCE, and then they can go on and do extra modules for their master's and even further education towards PhD if they want to. So it's a very good quality course. Now, some of you may know that in Dubai, the government have launched and proposed the teacher licensing. And what this means is that they want all the different teachers from all the different curriculums to have the same high standards. So in order to do that, What they're saying is that every teacher in the UAE will have to have a teacher license. This presents a lot of challenges for schools, as you can imagine, because some of the teachers in schools here are not qualified. They have a degree, they have a subject knowledge, but they don't have that formal teaching qualification. Our PGCE course at the University of Birmingham enables them to meet some of the criteria for the license, and we're waiting for approval for that. So this is where, working with the authorities and ourselves, we're working towards getting that teacher license approval as well. And you may get asked this question about the teacher license. So in terms of the course itself, I'm going to move on over the next few slides, looking at the detail of the course a little bit. Now that we understand the context, we understand a little bit about Dubai and the University of Birmingham. So we're offering primary and secondary PGCE courses. The secondary PGCE course is 3 subjects. So we have English, maths, and science. So students, once they've been through this, they can become one of these specialist teachers. Each subject we are limiting to 10 per class, because we think then that the quality of education will be fantastic. And the primary course, again, it's 1 primary course, and once candidates complete that, they can teach children from the ages of 5 to 11. And you'll notice the secondary there. Secondary is what we class, some may call it high school, but it's to teach from 11 to 18 for English and maths, and 16 for science. So those are the 4 PGCEs that we're offering at the moment. Next year, we are looking to expand our portfolio of PGCEs to offer more subjects. Specifically, we're looking at Arabic because that seems to be a popular course, and there's demand for that here. Now, I mentioned to you we're looking to expand that, and next year we've just had approval for a special education needs postgraduate certificate. And again, the government here in Dubai are really focusing on inclusion and children with special education needs. So this comes at a very, very good time. We're also looking at the early years PGCE, which hopefully will come in 2019 as well. And again, that's to teach children from early years, which is 3 months, right through till 4 or 5 to school age. Now, what are the requirements? And again, it's really important to understand this element of what the requirements are, because they are the same as we would demand in terms of in the UK. And that's why, again, this course is quite unique, because it's offering that quality. All candidates applying to the PGCE must have at least a bachelor's degree with a 2 classification or above. And that's a recognised qualification that we're using at the moment. They also must have an equivalent to or a GCSE grade C or above in maths and science. So in maths and English. And this is very important for all of our PGCE programs, because it shows us the standards that the teachers have and the attainment and understanding they have to teach maths and English, and that is a requirement. Of course, we will take equivalents for that as well. We also require a minimum of some experience of working in a school. Now, many people think, well, I can teach, it'll be absolutely fine when I get to school, but the reality of when you're in a classroom is very different. So that's why we really do stipulate that they must have school experience. The next few slides are similar, but they talk about the different courses. So I'll scan through these quite quickly. The English course and the maths and the science all stipulate that if students would like to come in this course, their degree subject must be in that subject. So for example, if they would like to become a maths teacher, their maths degree must have 50% or above content. If they want to teach science, then their degree, their undergraduate degree, must be a science-based degree. For example, you can't have a law degree and teach maths, say, for example. They need to demonstrate that they have that subject knowledge, because it's subject knowledge that we're also looking for as well. And again, it's the same requirements, a 2-2 degree or above, and it's similar for the science course as well. Now, what's unique about the course? Let me tell you a little bit about how the course will work. Students come to the university, the campus here, to complete their lectures and seminars and workshops. But a lot of their course, a large proportion of the course, is based in schools. So they complete a school practice. In fact, they complete 2 school practices. So it will be a mixture of lectures at campus and then placements within schools. Now, we find those school placements, and that's part of my role, is to establish the partnerships with the schools. So they go out, we go out and we find the placements at very good, outstanding British curriculum schools on the whole, so that they have that exposure of excellent teaching and learning. So it's important for the student to understand that they're not in the campus or lectures all the time. It's a very practical, hands-on course where they are in schools completing their placement. Now, when they're in schools, they have a mentor which is assigned to them, and their academic tutor and myself will also be going out and supporting them in their schools. Now, all of our academics, and again, this is another question that we get asked a lot, all of our academics are University of Birmingham accredited lecturers and professors. They've had many years of experience, and this model, the PGCE model, is something that's been very successful in the UK, and we're bringing over here to the UAE, and the KHDA are very excited that we're bringing this course over here, which has been very successful in the UK. All of our PGCE programs have a very strong emphasis on subject knowledge and transferring that subject knowledge to students. But we also do whole school issues like how to manage behaviour, assessment, and various school issues that you might come across within a school, classroom management, all of those, the differentiation, all of those things. This is what the year looks like. So the students come in September. We're looking to start this year around about the 3rd of September, and they'll be at university for a few weeks. And then in around about October, they go out for their first school placement. Then in January, they're back in university for about 3 or 4 weeks. And then again, they have another placement. And then we have our external examinations in June. The students must also complete assignments, case studies, coursework, as well as part of their studies. And a lot of this is available online for them to study. There are 3 assignments which have 20 credits each, and in total, as I mentioned before, the PGCE will give them 60 credits to move on towards a master's degree. Now, what's great at the moment is if the students apply, because we're starting in September, they will qualify for a Pioneers Scholarship. That will give them 5% scholarship when they are given the offer. But it can go up to 20% if they decide to go for our Chancellor's Scholarship, and they have to complete a personal statement for that. So we're encouraging a lot of our students for the PGCE to apply for the scholarship at the moment. Now, as I mentioned, it's 5%, but it can be up to 20% for that particular scholarship. The fees for this particular program are 53,220, but with the scholarship, there would be a reduction on that, quite a bit on that. We have got a fully funded scholarship, which is worth up to 300,000 dirhams, and that's for students that are exceptional within their previous academic record. So just to summarize then, before I take any questions, the PGC program is very unique. There is no other program on offer in Dubai at the moment, purely because it's face-to-face, it's from a UK recognized university, it's KHDA approved. What that means is that it's written against the teaching standards of the UK and the UAE, and it would be recognized as a teaching qualification. Steve, I'm going to just hand back to you for any questions that people may have.
Okay, that's great, Sana. Many thanks for your time there. I understand that we've got agents from over 3-4 different continents, so thank you very much for joining us today. So does anyone have any specific questions for Sanam at all about the content of the programs at all?
Hello, my name is Arwa. I'm a marketing manager from Yes Atlas. We are a recruitment agency that is based in the Gulf. We have offices in Saudi, the Emirates, and Kuwait. I'd like to thank you for the lovely presentation, Sanam. It has been very, very clear, but I do have a couple questions, if I may.
Okay.
First of all, I want to ask the 60 credit hours that are accredited towards the masters. Are they fully accredited? Fully credited?
So, Arwa, you're asking a question around the credits for the PGC program. So, yes, it's a fully accredited program, and the PGCE, because it's at certificate level, it's worth 60 credits. The student can then go on to use those credits towards their masters. So they would have to complete further modules to count for that, and then also complete a dissertation, which would be research based. In the UK, we've not bought that course, but they do a postgraduate diploma in education, and that's worth higher credits. But at the moment, we've got this one, which is the certificate in education, which is enough to give the formal teaching qualification, and it's worth 60.
Okay, perfect. I also have one more question about the professional licensing scheme.
Yes.
For which level of teachers is it required now? For example, is it for higher education teaching, or is it for like school level teaching?
From my understanding at the moment, there isn't clarity around who needs the teacher license. So, for example, we've had questions from external trainers who might provide a training course, which some might say, well, he's also teaching as well. What we've been told at the moment, it's primary and secondary teachers who need the teacher licensing, because that's sort of almost compulsory education age. So at the moment, we're focusing on that. I would imagine that would increase to anyone who's within the education sphere. So it could even include higher education as well. But there are, in Dubai, certainly there's strict regulations in terms of who can teach as a university. In some cases, you've got to have a PhD to teach as a university. So again, that would qualify. Part of the licensing is also around professional conduct and around understanding of the UAE. So if you are from 6 countries, you automatically, and you've got a teaching qualification, you get exemption from 3 of the 4 parts of the license. If you're from the UK, France, New Zealand, Australia, and the US, then you don't have to do the 4 different strands. You only have to do the one, which is all about professional conduct and understanding the UAE.
Yeah, okay. That's great. I also wanted to ask, like for some students that wants to continue their further education in the UK, do you think that this program is a good start for a pre-master program? Can it be qualified as a pre-master?
Absolutely, it would do. And if they're looking to go into teaching, or certainly within the sphere of education, then this is a good start for them to go into. But then having said that, if they don't ever want to teach in a school, then they would benefit better to doing from their undergraduate degree to go on and do a master's in education. But sometimes the master's in education requires you to work in a school so that you can initiate a change, so that you can research something to actually write about. But certainly if you're going to teach in a school, it's a very good start. On that point, can I just speak to everyone about something that Arwa has raised, and that's about teaching in the UK. This qualification, it does not give you QTS, and that's qualified teacher status. And the reason for that is, to get qualified teacher status is only granted if you live in the UK and complete your teaching qualification in the UK. However, what this PGCE does give you is it covers the teaching standards. So if you wanted to go to the UK with this qualification, all you would have to do is complete another short program called QTS assessment route, and it would give you that qualified teacher status. So it's important that if someone says to you, well, can I teach in the UK with this qualification? You can't with it on its own. There will be another bridging course that you would need to do to show that you've taught in UK schools, because it's only awarded in the UK QTS.
Perfect.
Thanks, Arwa.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome. Steve, back to you.
Yep, there's another question just with regards to, it looks as though students completed a Bachelors of Education, a Masters of Education, and does have some work experience. And do you feel that this course could still be applicable for them? It looks as though, I take it, they may be from India initially, so it would probably be around, obviously, internationalising their experience via the PGCE, but whether or not that you feel that that would still be applicable to them from that perspective?
I would say so, yes, Steve. It would really benefit them, because if they've got a BEd and they've gone on to do their MEd, you say, or MA in education?
MEd.
MEd. This will give them that, the formalised teacher qualification, and will give them that school placement experience, which they may or may not have had, but also it would, yes, you're right, it would give them that internationalisation of the qualification, so it would certainly benefit them.
Okay, perfect, excellent. And does anyone else have any other further questions at all?
Good afternoon. My name is Tatiana. I'm from Russian agency Znание Center, and I have as well one question. For example, if the student have a bachelor's degree, a complete bachelor's degree, so he can apply for this program. Or if the student hasn't completed this degree, may he apply for your program or not?
Okay, so the question is around the bachelor's degree. So yes, if they have either completed their bachelor's degree or are going to complete it by this academic year, then they can apply for it if they meet our criteria. So they will get a conditional offer based on the prediction of their bachelor's degree if they haven't completed it yet. But they would need to complete it before they started this program.
Okay, and one more question. Which certificate in English should the student have in order to enter this program?
They would need to have the equivalent, the IELTS equivalent for this to demonstrate that their standard of English meets our requirement. And that's both written and their oral communication. Now, one other important thing is that all candidates for this program will be interviewed. So without an interview, we will not offer them a place. That's one of the requirements by the KHDA, the regulatory authority here, that we must interview every single candidate. So through the interview, we will be able to assess whether their standard of English meets our expectations, but certainly they need the equivalent IELTS course to qualify for the course.
Mm-hmm. And for example, if the student doesn't have IELTS certificate, it has, for example, first Cambridge certificate, is it okay?
Yes, we would look at equivalence. That would be okay, and our admissions tutor would look at that and use that as an equivalence. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Tatiana.
Stephanie from Cameroon just asked with regards to what the financial equivalent was for the 53,000 dirhams, so it's roughly £10,500, isn't it? It's the same as the UK fee?
Yes, it's all based on UK international fees. However, with the scholarship, that would reduce. We've also had questions from people saying that, well, in the UK, if they completed this, that they would get a bursary. That is possibly true, but we've based our pricing on international fees. But with the scholarship, that would reduce.
Okay, perfect. Okay, that's great. And does anyone else have any other further questions before we finish? Okay, perfect. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll close off today's session. So many thanks for Sanam to taking time out of her schedule to present today. We found that really informative. As I said, the session will be recorded and shared amongst yourselves. If you have any questions that you need to direct to Sanam, could you please use the contact at educationagents.org mailbox, and then I can then communicate with her directly. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and then look forward to receiving any inquiries from you soon.
Bye, everyone. Have a nice day. Have a good week.
Thanks very much for your time. Thank you. Thanks for joining, everyone.